Welcome back to another episode of Hip Hop Hoops Podcast. This your boy Iggy. I got my guy Woods. What's up?
I'm here, man. It's been a minute. Let's get to work, baby.
No, man. Yeah. Let's get right into it, man. Guys, make sure you subscribe, like, share, comment, all that beautiful stuff. We are like 600 and something to 10K, guys.
Almost there.
Let's try to get this. We have one more week or a week and a half, I believe, of this month. Let's get 10K before this month is over, guys. Let's get this thing going, man. 10K, that's a huge accomplishment, man. Let's go. Let's get into it, man. NBA Finals. What is your thoughts on NBA Finals? The Knicks, they beat the Spurs 4-1. Jalen Brunson had a monster game. The last game, I think he had like 45 points. 45, and the rest of the team, I think he outscore the rest of the team or something like that.
I think he did. No, I think he had 45 and the remainder of the team had like 46 or 48 points or something along those lines.
Right. Okay. Something
along those lines, like that. Man. But he left it all on the table, man. Left it all on the floor, I should say, man. And it was fun to watch. You know, a small guard do his damn thing offensively and lead his team as a 1A option to the chip.
So we remember what Becky Hammond said, right? Let's just go and play this clip from Becky Hammond, and we'll be right back. Just listen to what she said about the small guards.
But at the end of the day, they don't have a dude. You got to have a dude. You got to have a 1A dude. And they're missing that at the end of the day if we're just getting down to brass taxes. Sorry.
I didn't want to disagree with Becky today, but they do have their dude.
Who?
Jalen Brunson.
No, he's too small.
But here's the thing, and that's
Didn't they say about you?
But you know
they
what?
Say that about you. You're a Hall of Famer.
You know what?
I got a philosophy. Can I say my philosophy?
Go ahead.
If your best player is small, you're not winning. John Stockton, Allen Iverson, Steve Nash. You could go down the list. Steph Curry is the only.
But he's not that small. He's not that small. He's like 6'3".
But also, though, I mean, he's the greatest shooter to ever walk the planet. He's in a different
outlier
class.
Okay, so you heard what Becky had to say, and first of all, I understand why people are upset and they're mad, but she's actually wrong. Like, she's been wrong. This is not even a real statement, because did we forget about Isaiah Thomas? And did we forget about Steph Curry? And did we forget about Chauncey Billups? We won't say Tony Parker because he wasn't the best player on the team. Right. But if you look at those three guards, and people are saying, well, Steph Curry's not Steph Curry's 6'3". Steph Curry's 6'3", 160. He's a small guard. He's considered a small guard. So, like, what are we talking about? Trae Young is considered a small guard. He's like 6'2", 6'1", but he's like 140 pounds. Right. He's considered a small guard. Like, so her statement wasn't true when she said that anyways, but like, what was your thoughts? Like what made her say that? And you know what, the problem I have with this is that she doesn't even want to come out with an apology. She just wants to leave it as is. That's my problem.
She was coming from the angle of, you know, predominantly to be successful in the league, you need the size. Cool. From a small guard standpoint, she was like, oh, well, it's only at the end of the day, only before Jalen Brunson got his MVP, there was only like maybe two small guards, or maybe three. I think the other good one with Chauncey Billups. But all right, maybe there's three guards in how many years that got Finals MVP or led their team to a chip. So I get what they're saying with that standpoint, but to me, you're still poo-pooing on the small guards, because there's a plethora of small guards with impact that just didn't have the right team, right system, right luck to bring it home. You know what I mean?
But also being a small guard, it doesn't mean like because you're not the best player, like that doesn't mean like you can't be the lead of that team. Right. Some guys are leaders of the team, and they're not the best players.
Kyle Lowry, for example.
Exactly. He was the vocal leader. He was the leader of the Raptors when they won, and Kawhi Leonard was the best player on the team. So my issue is the arrogance of the comment. And like, oh, I said it 2 years ago. I said what I said. Prove me wrong. Like, just shut up and just say that you're wrong and go back to coaching. Like, shut the hell up. That's my issue.
Facts.
and the arrogance, to just say Jalen Brunson, he's too little. Like, who are you to talk about anybody?
And she was
I want to go
she's a
off.
small guard herself that had plenty of
She
impact.
wasn't shit,
No, she did
bro.
her thing.
So
Stop it. She did it. She
man,
did her
she
thing
was
as a hooper.
trash.
But I'm like, I thought there's a little bit more unity amongst small guards playing in both leagues, the WNBA and the NBA, the land of the Giants. There should be more unity, but
I'm off this weirdo. I'm so glad that the Raptors didn't hire her because of the way she pissed me off when she was calling people boy. That just sounded so racist to me when she was talking about them boys, and I was like, this girl sounded like she has a whip in her car ready to whip some niggas. Like, get the hell out of here. Anyways, the Knicks won in 5.
Yeah.
You had the first game Knicks won was 105-95. They won 2 games in. This is what I knew was going to be trouble for them when they won 2 games.
Right, in San Antonio.
In San Antonio, they both they scored 105 in each game, 105. And the Spurs second game there was 104. They won by 1. That was a nail biter. The Spurs came back and won the first game in New York, 115 to 111. The crazy thing is that the Spurs were like up, like every single game, double digits, I believe. And the deciding game that we knew it was all over was Game 4, when San Antonio Spurs were up 29, and the Knicks came back and just. It was the biggest comeback in NBA Finals history. 29 points. After that, I knew it was over. I knew it was over after that. But what is your thoughts on that? They come back to San Antonio, up 3-1. They close it out. These guys are still talking. Like, we just have to play. You know, you had Wemby talk about always have to play regular basketball and we'll win. And you have Castle, or I think Wemby said it also, everybody knows we're going to win. Everybody knows we're going to do this and win. So the arrogance was still there. And, but what is your thoughts on the 29-point comeback? And then, obviously Brunson came back and, dominated. The fourth quarter was like real clutch for him.
I mean, overall, the score margin, I think their arrogance came from obviously the first quarter. The Spurs, the scoring margin, the Spurs were up by 57. You know what I mean? The second quarter, Knicks were up by 29. Third quarter, Knicks were up by 14. Fourth quarter, Knicks are up by 26. So that just shows me, Spurs young, they know how to jump on teams. You know what I mean? They just never ran into a beast that was resilient enough to take those hits. And for some strange reason, those older guys, they just felt like they're going to slip. They're going to crack. When they were up 29, the Spurs, that is, and that was Game 4. And if you even look at the play calls and the stagnation of the Spurs offense, they were just settling.
And we can blame Fox, but let's not act like Wemby didn't go to the free throw line and miss 2 free throws that could have helped to win the game too.
In two separate games as well.
Yeah. So Wemby deserves a lot. Like, I get Harper. He's super fast. All you have to do is dribble the ball out in Game 4. OG, ran down and blocked him. And I get that he could have just ran around and just been fouled and went to the line and made 2.
Right.
A lot of people were saying that was what cost him the game. That's not what cost him the game. First off, I don't know. I think it was a 20 or 18-0 run or something like that. Mitch, like the coach, like, what are you doing? You gotta call a timeout.
You gotta stop the bleeding, man.
You gotta stop the bleeding. So that was on him. That was on him. As far as, I'm not gonna say the whole comeback, but you can't let a team go 20-0 on a 20-0 run and then thinking you're gonna end up, the momentum just swung.
It just swung, man.
It just swung, and there was nothing that these guys could do. There's nothing. You had Wemby. He averaged 26. He averaged 26 and 11 in this series. 26-11. Jalen Brunson averaged 32.6 and 5 assists.
Right.
Their second best player was OG. OG averaged 21 and 5 rebounds. The second best player for the Spurs was Dylan Harper. He averaged 18 and 6 rebounds and 3 assists. And then if you want to go to the fourth player, Stephen Castle played awful in Game 5. Played awful. Carl Anthony Towns averaged 13 and 11.
Yeah.
He averaged 13 and 11.
And he kind of
That was their third option.
Cat kind of fell off the last 3 games. He started off well, those 2 games in San Antonio.
One, I'll tell you what happened to Carl Anthony Towns. One, foul trouble. They were getting him off the floor, so horrible calls. And 2, they weren't going to him anymore. They weren't looking.
Yeah.
The Knicks were playing a lot of selfish basketball. If we're gonna be honest, like they were just chucking up shots, and they weren't giving him the ball like they were in the first 2 games. And I get it. He was in foul trouble, and the whistle was super, super tight. Pause, but.
That's on Brunson, and that was one of the reasons why I didn't think the Knicks would have got out of the East, because I always felt like the Knicks would go back to their old ways, giving Brunson the ball and getting the heck out of the way. But I feel like after those 2 games were won by the Knicks, and they were getting Cat involved, and Cat was looking amazing, once you drop 61 on a team, fams, regardless, and once you beat them in the NBA Cup and you played well from a guard standpoint, like JB felt like there was nobody on that court that could stay in front of him. So to answer your question, they were looking him off. They were looking Cat off a bit.
They were, and also they didn't play the same crazy defense that they played like on Shea. Like there was a lot of one-on-ones. Like that's another thing why Mitch, the coach from San Antonio Spurs, is getting a lot of flack right now, because they didn't throw no doubles on him like that, for real. Like they blitzed the hell out of Shea, and Shea was by himself.
I mean, Caruso saved them a few times.
Option. There was no third option. Yes, but that's impressive to go to Game 7 with an unhealthy team. But anyways, the Spurs, the New York Knicks win. 53 years since they won a championship. The Knicks are going crazy. I want to ask you, what is your thoughts on? I have 2 questions for you. What is your thoughts on Dylan Harper? He showed that he is a lead guard. He's a starter in the NBA.
Sure.
Like, let's be honest. He scored the most points ever by like a rookie in the playoffs, or like his run was crazy. What do you do in that situation? Do you get rid of De'Aaron Fox? Do you start them at the same time and put Julian Champagnie on the bench, or Devin Vassell? Like, do you put him on the bench and start both of them?
Right.
Like, what do you do? Because there's rumblings. Like, I know on Twitter, Derek Harper said, stop the rumors. You have to earn it. Like, they were talking about, Dylan Harper's camp was not happy and wants to start in a role. Right. And then Derek Harper, his dad, debunked it. Was like, you gotta stop posting fake news. You gotta earn it. But what do they do in that situation with De'Aaron Fox? He's a max guy, like $200-something million, 4 years, 200-something, or is it 4 or 5?
I think it's 4.
Okay, 4 years, $200-something million. What do? You can't have him come off the bench.
You can't.
Do you trade him? What do you do? Do you start them both? What do you do? Because at the end of the day, Dylan Harper has to start. To me, I told a lot of people who's the best rookie in my eyes. I still stand on that, even though I seen what Cooper Flag did in the regular season. To average 18 and 6 in the NBA Finals and look like the best player on the floor sometimes. Like in a lot of these games, he looked like the best player on the floor, and I'm still stand on it. I would have taken him, but what do you do? What do you do with De'Aaron Fox?
I mean, I think the smartest thing to do, don't trade them, play them both, because I don't know why they don't. Like, it works when you have 2 playmaking guards on at the same time. Knicks made that adjustment.
Remind you, Dylan Harper is 6'6", so and he can defend. So they can interchange. Right. The 2 and the 1
exactly.
and the 2.
You know what I mean? But play them at the same time. I seen a lot of success when they had Jose what's his name, Alvarez?
Alvarado,
Alvarez and Brunson together. You know what I mean? Even though that was more of a in-series adjustment, but why can't you play both of them at the same time? Why can't you start both of them? Vassell or Champagnie can come off the bench, and they would have no problem with that.
I think you take Champagnie. Well, they're actually... It doesn't really matter who really. Julian Champagny will probably come off the bench. I think
Right.
Devin Vassell. I think he makes a lot of money, so you might not want him to come off the bench. And he does a little bit more as far as being able to put the ball on the floor. Julian Champagny, really, if you get him off the free 3-point line, he kind of just doesn't really. He can't really put it on the floor the greatest. Let's see their 3-point percentage between both of the players. Because Castle has to start. We're gonna.
That's what I'm saying. But
So-
I mean, Champagny is, I guess, a little bit bigger to play the 4 spot. So I don't know.
He's only like 6'6", 6'7".
Okay.
Julian Champagny's not that tall. Yeah. So Devin Vassell, his 3-point percentage was 46.7 in the finals, and Julian was 40.5. So they both shot the ball really well. But I don't know. I think I might have to take. Julian has to probably come off the bench for me and put because they both can guard.
Facts.
Both can guard and they both
But
can
would
shoot.
you,
so
would you agree with playing both Fox and Harper at the same time, starting them?
I if I'm San Antonio, I would. But if I had to trade him, I would. If I was the Raptors, I'd make that call. If I'm the Raptors, I call San Antonio. Hey, we got Emmanuel Quickly for you. Now you have a start. You have a bench guard. You know he can back up Dylan Harper. Here's CMB. You need another big because Wemby and Luke Cornette, like he's god awful. He out there just trying to fight people. Like he ain't playing like it was very difficult for him. They need another guy who besides Cornette could help Wemby get a rest. And Luke Cornette, once Wemby sat on the bench, Luke Cornette was just like it was over for him. So maybe you can get a CMB or maybe you can even get Pirtle.
Yeah,
Pirtle
CMB
will
will
look
be
better.
off the books. He's an untouchable.
Well, if I'm the
Of course you
Raptors CMB, I'll pay for CMB's ticket myself, nigga. Like
course you
send
would,
his ass
Iggy.
to San Antonio.
Of course you would.
Send his ass first. Does he want a first class? I can't do no jet now, but I'll send his ass first class now. For Fox, because I'm looking at the dynamics of Fox, Scotty Barnes, RJ Barrett, and Brandon Ingram. Nigga, come on now. We going to the finals, nigga. Knicks ain't beating us now with that. The Knicks ain't beating us with that, with Darren Fox. Quickly ain't it. Let's just be honest. He is more of a backup guard. But if you have De'Aaron Fox,
But I don't know, man. Brunson
and you match him up with those
Brunson
guys,
seems to have the man's number, bro. You know what I mean?
listen.
And
If you put dogs like Scotty Barnes and you put guys like if you surround them with some dogs too,
listen,
like Scotty's a
Scotty's
dog.
a dog.
JR's RJ's a dog. You surround him with those type
You're
of
right.
guys,
RJ is a dog
like,
as well.
and we need legit guard play. I'm just quickly, he's just not it for us. He's not going to take us over the hump. So you could put him, and then we still have Shed coming off the bench. We still have Jacoby Walters. Like, if we can get Fox, I'm telling you, a lot of people are shitting on Fox. I get it. He didn't play particularly well, but. And then you put the coaching with Darko. Darko gonna make sure he's
very
right.
innovative, yes. But mind you, we haven't beaten the Knicks. That's why I was like, yo, when we were in the playoffs, I was like, thank God we got Cleveland. You know, I'd rather play Knicks in the second round and take that exit because we don't have an answer for the Knicks right now, man. They slapped us all year this year.
I think this could be the solution. I'm telling you guys, this can be. Quickly's not the solution. He is not the guy. Anyways, another question I have for you. What is your thoughts on Victor Wembanyama leaving the floor without shaking hands? Remember, he had a couple. I think he had one former teammate on the Knicks. I forget his name. I'll tell you his name now.
Jeremy Sohan?
Jeremy Sohan was
Well, that was so
a former
disrespectful,
Spur, and he just walked off. But my thing is, I want to roll a clip of Jay Will talking about, you know, him not shaking hands and stuff like that. Let's roll the clip real quick and we'll come back. So you've seen what Jay Will said, right? And my thing is, what are we teaching the youth here? I get everybody's like, oh, well, you know, everybody's complaining about the fouls, but we want the 90s basketball to be back. Like, but what message are we showing the kids when we don't show sportsmanship? So this is a copycat world. What do you see when guys shoot the threes in the league, in high school kids?
celebrating.
They're doing this. The Brunson. They're doing this. The Curry. They're doing all of the things the NBA players do. So are we teaching our kids bad sportsmanship too? Is this what we're coming to by not shaking hands? This is the same thing that gave Isaiah Thomas nightmares for years when he didn't shake Jordan's hand. When he was kicking Jordan's ass for years, Jordan still looked his opponent in the eye and shook his hand. He lost. Isaiah Thomas, that haunted him for years. Why he didn't make the USA team and why people look at him as like an asshole. Because when you was kicking Jordan's ass, he was man enough to look you in your eye and shake your hand and like, good job, you go win. And then when you lost, now you don't want to shake hands. So what is your thoughts with the Wemby just walking off? And because he's got this villain role. You know, the NBA, you know, they're trying to protect him. You know, his he wasn't giving no players landing spaces. Right. You know, those could have been techs. You know, he threw Jalen Brunson on the floor.
Guys face off,
you know, they didn't give him a tech.
Right.
Like, they were trying to keep him in. We know he's now the new golden boy for the NBA. We get it. But what is it? And then I seen him go to the sick kid hospital after, you know, PR was out. His PR team was just working overtime after that. Like, nigga, knock it off. Like, we know that you're a French douchebag. But what is your thoughts on Wemby not shaking hands?
I thought it was classless. Jay Will, I don't want to hear anything. You said that flipping that UFC event at the White House was better than the NBA Finals. I'm done.
He done lost his mind.
I think you're just doing this for rage bait. I think you're really taking this whole debating to a whole nother level in regards to I'm gonna play devil's advocate on whatever anybody across from my table has to say. So that was, once you said that, I'm like, bruh, all right, you're out to lunch. I can't.
Once he started doing the Shea stuff and had a whole segment of Shea fall on the floor, I just lost respect for him bro, on what he's doing as far as the commentating stuff. Wemby, it's like, this guy's a bozo.
Wemby, you lost a lot of respect as a person. You know what I mean, in regards to just being a little bitch. Fams, you can't be elbowing mans, can't be crying at Western Conference Finals. I bet you shook hands then. You know what I mean? But to take your loss, the adversity that every superstar goes through, you know what I mean? You finally ran into it. Shake your man, shake your opponent's hand. You know what I mean? You got me.
We seen Shea shake his hands and shake everybody's hands when they lost. You think Shea really wants
to shake man's hands, bro?
No. And he knew he was undermanned?
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, you're out here crying in the Western Conference Finals, bro. You thought it was gonna be all peachy.
Do you know what that reminded me of? That reminded me of when you know where I'm about to go with this. When what's his name? What's the guy's name, man? Pat Bev. When Pat Bev when he jumped on and he won. But go ahead.
Yeah, like when he jumped, I forgot what the play-in, right? When beating the Clippers.
Yeah, the play-in.
Shout out Pat Bev, man. You know what I mean? But you know, that kind of, like, really and truly, if you were so upset, you could have busted Pat Bev for real. Remember when Pat Bev pushed Chris Paul in the shaking hand line when they were shaking hands?
Yeah,
and chucked him in the back, and pushed him from the back. You feel me? So, there were so many other ways you could have did it, but bringing it back to the sportsmanship piece, fams, you guys been battling. It was a series that you guys were actually up. It was a series that you believe that you could have won. You know what I mean? But you didn't. So the best thing to do
is the arrogance, man.
Hands,
the arrogance from him, and now you don't want to shake hands. That's just disrespectful. That's disrespectful to the game. I'm not saying that that's a rule, but it's like a written rule. It's like the same thing when you're up 30 and you have a break, you don't go get a basket. It's a written rule, and it's a sport. It's a sports. Yeah, it's a sportsmanship thing. And what are we teaching our youth? Now you're going to see guys walking off, because now if a high school kid did that and he didn't shake hands, we're going to look at him like, oh, this guy's a piece of shit. Like, this kid sucks. Man. Like, why do we want him in our program?
We got to keep it a buck, why are we teaching that? We got to keep it a buck right now in the youth sports world. I don't know how it is in other sports, but in basketball, on the AAU side, you're seeing parents fighting each other. You're seeing players fight each other on court. You're seeing parents attacking refs. You know what I mean? And just to add insult to injury, you're seeing Wemby walking off without shaking a man's hand in the finals. You feel me? Yeah, and you have your boy that was, or at least moving like your boy or moving like your vet, You know, even though he's a little bit older than you. Jeremy Sohan is his last name. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yes,
He's
Jeremy
looking
Sohan,
for
yeah.
you. Like when you got drafted to the
What's
league,
your
you guys
hair?
both had the purple dye in your hair. You guys were like moving like some
Yeah.
real boys, and you dissed.
Yeah, that was
So
he was a
you
he,
just showed me a
he was a
lot about
pussy for that.
yourself, fam. It's like real
Yeah,
talk, bro.
he's the villain, and let's not act like because they're young, they're gonna get back to this point. We've had 8 different NBA
Love the
champions
transparency.
in the last 8
Love
years.
I forgot that dude's name that said the dynasty era is over because of
Yeah, I love it.
because of the parody. But
The parody, yes.
I strongly believe OKC has something. They'll probably be the first team in this parody era that we're in, which I love so much, to go back to back or win multiple rings within
No,
this
I think
parody thing.
OKC will. If OKC would be the team, if I had to choose out of one of these 8 teams at NBA Finals, I think OKC has the chance to. I don't think the Knicks will be back.
I don't know.
Next year. I just don't.
They could
I
have the
don't-
East in a chokehold though, especially if
I just
if
don't- I just
Giannis
don't
and
think-
JB end up leaving their respective teams. They were a tough cover. As a Raptor fan,
Like
we
if
could
Giannis,
not
if Giannis
beat the
goes to
Knicks.
Boston, if Giannis goes to Boston,
No.
how are you gonna be? How you gonna beat Boston?
I mean, all right. If he
Like-
goes to Boston, that's another story. But if he goes to Miami,
that's,
if he goes to Miami now,
it depends who he gives up. If he gives up Tyler Hero and you have Bam and him, that can be a problem.
but they won't have Tyler
But,
if anything. I don't think.
Nah, who cares? I'm not a fan of Tyler, anyways. But anyways, talk to us in the comments. Let us know how you guys feel about Wemby not shaking hands. I want to see everybody's opinion on this. This is a very interesting thing because people are they want the kids to have the sportsmanship, but then they don't care if the pros. But who are the kids looking up to? So where are these kids learning this behavior?
Right.
Obviously from the pros. So, anyways, let's talk about the 2000. This is a hot topic right here. The 2026 NBA Finals. NBA champs versus the 2016 NBA champs. So the 2016 NBA champs roster, I'll tell you who they had. They had, obviously, LeBron James was the Finals MVP, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love, J.R. Smith, Tristan Thompson, Matthew Dellavedova, Richard Jefferson, Iman Shumpert, Shannon Fry, Timothy Mazgoff, James Jones, Mo Williams, Dante Jones, Jordan McRae, and Sasha Khan, or I didn't know I thought his name was Sasha Khan. Sasha. He was actually a decent player. And then you obviously have this year's roster: Jose Alvarado, OG, Mikal Bridges, Jalen Brunson, Jordan Clarkson. I don't know who this is. Pacoma, Dadiat. He has Muhammad Douari. You had Muhammad. I don't even know who these guys are. Muhammad Guai, Josh Hart, Trey Jameson, Tyler Kolek. He was running in the parade and they didn't know he was actually a player. That's funny.
That was crazy. That was crazy work.
Kevin McCullough Jr., Miles McBride, Cameron Payne, really? Mitchell Robinson, Landry Shamet, Jeremy Soha, Karl Anthony Towns. Who wins between this team? Obviously, the Knicks just won. First championship in 53 years. They won 4-1 against the Spurs. This is their first title since 1973. The Cavs, they never won either. This was their first championship period. They came back down obviously from 3-1 to the Warriors. The Warriors had the greatest record in NBA history, which was 73-9 or something like that.
73-9. Yep.
So who would you go with this roster, this matchup between 2026 NBA champion or 2016 NBA champion? I'm going with 2016. I don't even know this is a conversation.
Man. It's not even a question.
I get it,
man.
guys. I get it. Jalen Brunson won. He is phenomenal. He's great. But come on, man. Do you see what Kyrie Irving did in those finals? The guy was getting 40 back-to-back games, not just one game, guys. Like, he was out of his mind. Like, what are we talking about? And then you have LeBron James. So right then and there, you have the two best players in the series. You have the two best players. LeBron James and Kyrie Irving are two best players in the series. I'm sorry.
Right.
And then who else? And then you might say Brunson is next. And then you might say
I would say Kevin Love over Brunson, man. I said the first 3 best players of that series goes to Cleveland.
I'm gonna give Brunson that. I'm gonna give Brunson that. That's tough. I'm gonna give Brunson that. But like, come on, man. Like, what are we talking about? Like that 2006. This is why. When people say that this team actually was a great matchup for the Warriors. Like that was like the Warriors were like it was an even matchup, even though Warriors had the best record. I think this was a great matchup. So Kevin Durant wasn't there yet, so I don't know. Anyways, talk to us in the comments. Let us know what you guys feel about who would win in a 7-game series in NBA Finals, the 2026 champs, the New York Knicks, or the 2016 Cleveland Cavaliers. Talk to us in the comments. Let's get it. Anyways, let's move along to Max Kellerman and his comments, his crazy comments. You know, him and his podcast. I think I just those guys just spew crazy things to get everybody talking. But we'll go to what he says and then we'll react to it.
I know Shea didn't have his second best player. It's a real thing, and he was the Finals MVP the year before, and he's been a very clutch player.
That's a real thing. Yeah.
If you take Shea off the Thunder and replace him with Jalen Brunson, the Thunder beat the Spurs. Same guys defended Shea that tried to defend Brunson. They had some success early in the series and limited Brunson's offense. Brunson is one of those players, and the Knicks are a special team, but he's really the number one reason why, though there are others. Rich, there are some athletes that you watch if you're not a fan of that team. And you're like, no matter what your team's lead is, no matter if that guy's in the game, you're like, damn it. You just feel
look,
like,
I can't.
So you've seen what Max Kellerman said, right? He's saying that if you put Jalen Brunson, he goes, he acknowledges it. He goes, I understand that Shea didn't have his second and third or fourth best player with Jalen Williams and AJ Mitchell. They didn't play. They played 2 or 3 games, I think, a piece, and then they were hurt. So it's a 7-game series, right? Jalen Williams looked like a shell of himself. He didn't look great. You know, he's a career like 18 point game. I think that's his career in the playoffs. You know, Obviously we've seen him play very well in the NBA Finals last year. I think he had a game of 40 and stuff like that. Then AJ Mitchell just came off averaging like 26 or something like that versus the Lakers, and he didn't play. And he was a great ball handler for when you can take Shea up off the ball and put the ball in AJ's hand, and he can bring the ball up, and he can run the offense. They can run the offense through him. Anyways, Max Kellerman said if you put Jalen Brunson in that situation, the same situation without J-Dub and without AJ Mitchell, the OKC beat the Spurs. What is your thoughts?
Come on, Max, man, don't do this. Don't do this, man. I got so much respect for your intellect and your takes at times, most of the times, 98% of the time, but you're wrong. There's no way. The only deciding factor between Jalen Brunson's game and SGA's game versus the Spurs is that consistently JB could hit the tray ball off the bounce, catch and shoot. You know, SGA is very good at catch and shoot. Cool, I'll give you that at the 3. But off the bounce, JB got it. But if you just look at the coverages, if JB doesn't have a OG or a Bridges or even a Cat or even a Hart, because Hart was hitting a lot of tray balls as well, fams, and they're just solely focused on you, sending double teams your way. The refs were letting San Antonio get away with murder on the perimeter guarding SGA. Look at the film yourself. Look at the film yourself. You know what I mean? In regards to the holding, in regards to the tripping, in regards to just the physical play, and you're letting it slide. The little physical play that Brunson was getting right at the half court line, because they picked him up at half court, and there was plenty of times JB stepped went over and back a couple of times, but it wasn't called because of the physicality. But nah. And it was single coverage he was getting a lot of, bro. Like
he was getting single. Okay. This is the thing, right? this is Max is an idiot, man. Like he just needs to focus on boxing. Like go back to boxing. Like people like him because he speaks well. Like you know his voice. You know it's very clean and clear, right? But this is the same guy that said that he would take Andre Ighodaro for the last shot. Like to save all human life, if you could pick one player, he's picking Ighodaro to make the last shot to save humanity. Like nigga, shut up. Like what are you talking about? Don't pick for me. You can't pick for me. Anyways, if Jalen Brunson didn't have Karl Anthony Towns and didn't have OG, they don't even beat Cavs. They don't. What? Who were the first teams that they played? They played first round who?
Atlanta.
They don't even beat the Atlanta Hawks. Shut up, nigga. They don't even beat the Hawks. Without Karl Anthony Towns and without OG Anunoby, you don't even beat the Hawks, nigga. Shut up. That's your first and second best player. I mean, your second and third best player. You remove them out of the equation. So you think that you're going to beat the Spurs? You think you're going to beat the Spurs with just you by yourself?
It's crazy.
And Shea took him to game 7. He took him to game 7. He scored like 35 and like 9.
35 and 9, man. To close that out.
To close it out. He had zero help. Where was Chet? Chet, nigga, Chet. We still don't know where Chet is, bro.
Facts.
He's so scared. I don't even know if he's going to play basketball anymore. He might have retired because he don't want to see Wemby no more.
It was Atlanta, Philly.
You don't even beat Philly, nigga. You don't even beat Philly without Karl Anthony Towns and like you don't beat none of these teams in the playoffs without OG and without Cat. That is a fact. In the first 2 games of the finals, Karl Anthony Towns was going to win Finals MVP. He looked like the best player. He was playing the best basketball. Brunson wasn't even shooting the ball well. He wasn't even shooting. Those guys were doing a lot of the heavy lifting. And if you look at game 2 and game 3, I mean game 3 and game 4, who was the guy? We were looking at OG. Like he was OG saved you with the defense and with the putback. You see, do we see what OG was doing? Everybody knows how I feel about OG, but I gotta keep it real. Like, look what he was doing. The guy was bodying Wemby and dunking on him
in his Skechers.
Skechers.
You see those Skechers that he's rocking? Come on,
mind you, he's the first NBA champion to wear Skechers, mind you. But but what are we talking about, Max? Like, how could Brunson have beat these guys without J-Dub and without AJ Mitchell? That means they can double team you. They can double team you and not worry about the other guys. Let's just keep this all in perspective and put some context behind it. OKC didn't have their full roster. Like, it's just that simple. Didn't have their full roster. If they have a full roster, they go back to back. They beat the Knicks in the finals. What are we kidding?
Facts.
What are we kidding? Without Jalen Williams too. I put it out there right now. Without J-Dub and without AJ Mitchell, the Knicks lose to the Spurs. I mean to OKC. Talk to me in the comments. Let me know what you guys feel about that. Anyways, NBA draft is coming up. I think it's on Tuesday.
Yeah.
You got Washington with the first pick, Utah second. I think is it Memphis third?
I think Memphis got third.
If you're gonna draft your top 3 guys, who what are you doing? If you're Washington, are you drafting AJ? Or are you gonna draft, Darren Peterson at 1? Like what do you do?
If they're gonna keep Trae Young, Wizards are gonna keep Trae Young. I wouldn't even go for Peterson either. I would go for a big. I would go for Boozer or Wilson, either or. They need some more frontline help. Not knowing how long your man AD would be available. You feel me? So I would.
If you want needs, Washington doesn't really need that. Sorry, cut you off, but they don't really need either one of the positions for real. They have Trey Johnson, who's a really young rookie. AJ's probably gonna come and take his space right now if we're gonna play him at the 2. And Trey Johnson is really good, 6'5" shooter, could put the ball on the floor. Now you have the 3, which is interesting because you have Keyshawn George, who's really good, going to play for Team Canada, 6'8", 6'7" guy, who's really good. You have real Will Riley as well, who turned on late as a rookie,
turning it up a bit more.
So who can play the 2 or the 3 as well. So those positions are kind of stacked for Washington, like you said. So going for a big is probably the best thing. If we're going to be honest, you might be right. it probably makes sense for Washington to go to big. My scenario was, because I know AJ's kind of got to be conflicted here. And I don't know I don't know if you talked to Ace. You should ask Ace this question. You know, how does he feel? Because I know he wants to go number one. He said he's always been number one his whole entire life. Why wouldn't he want to be number one now? But you're going to a team that you really don't want to go to, right? And it's crazy because Darren doesn't want to go to the Utah Jazz. He'd rather go to Washington or he'd rather go to Memphis. And then you have AJ, who rather go. He just wants to go back to Utah. He spent his high school career in Utah. You know, he went to college at BYU in Utah. He wants to stay in Utah. So if I'm Washington, I draft AJ and I leverage. I said, give me your second pick, right? Or you draft Darren Peterson for me. But I want for doing this for you and not keeping AJ, you got to give me Ace Bailey. Because remember, Ace Bailey didn't want to go to Utah in the beginning, right? He wanted to go to Washington. So that makes Ace happy.
Ooh,
and
that's a very good point.
And
everybody will be happy.
Everybody's happy, right? Ace is happy. He gets to leave. And mind you, this is AJ's position anyways, Ace Bailey. He's going to be the 3. Right, so you get him out of there. You put Ace Bailey over there in Washington, where you originally want to get drafted, and then you have Darren Peterson. So now you're loaded again with the wings, but you know you're able to leverage a player out of it.
So you would go with probably then AJ, Darren Peterson,
and then AJ's happy as well because he gets to go number one.
He goes to go number one, and then he goes to Utah. It works out perfect. I like that right there, and I could see Memphis, and I think Chicago got the 4th. Going with Memphis, going with Boozer, and Chicago going with Wilson. I could see that. I can really see that playing out. How you broke that down.
Yeah, that'll be my thing. But the top 3 players in this draft, I'm gonna go with. Obviously, I think Washington's going to take. They're gonna take AJ. They're gonna draft AJ. You got AJ. Darren Peterson's gonna go number 2. Like Utah has to do that. They have to. Even if they're going to trade him, they're going to have to take AJ at 1. And I think Memphis is going to take Caleb Wilson. I think Caleb Wilson's upside is more than Boozer. It's higher than Boozer. I think Boozer is going to come in the league, and this is NBA parents, right? NBA parents know how to get their kids prepared for the league. So I think while people are not as high on Boozer, I'm high on Boozer, and I think Boozer's going to come in. And he's gonna learn the system, but he's gonna be a career 18 and 10 player for his career. Right. That's what I think. Because look, Brunson, like NBA dads just get it. They understand, and they're putting their sons through this tough, NBA process, and they get it. They've been around pros their whole entire life. So that'll be my 3. I'm gonna go. Boozer's gonna go to 4. If Chicago's 4, he's going to Chicago. But I think it'll be AJ, Darren, and then Caleb Wilson. Those will be top 3 picks. And I think Washington is going to flip it with Utah. Utah's going to give, and maybe Utah might even give Keontae George, because we've seen Keontae. They ain't even re-sign him. They're not going to re-sign him on his rookie contract. So maybe he might be in that package too. And I think Utah's like, we'll give you everything. Just we need Keontae AJ George here
and Ace Bailey.
Like we need AJ here. Like it don't matter. We need him here. We'll start from ground zero and build around him. But AJ needs to be here, and that's where AJ wants to go. So, what do you think is your top 3?
Well, I like that. I would go. AJ, Darren Peterson, and I'll go Cam Boozer.
Okay, Cam Boozer in Washington.
Boozer.
I mean, in Memphis. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Talk to us in the comments. Let us know. What do you guys feel about the whole AJ? Is AJ going to stay in Washington, or is he gonna be? Are they gonna trade him and get him out of there? Let us know. Anything else, man?
No, that's it, man. It was good to be back, though. Come on, man. We're on the road, man. On the road to 10K. We're at like what? We're 600 away.
Like a little over 600 away, man. What are we at? I'll tell the exact number. I'll give you the exact number we're at. Right now, we're at 9,331. Let's get it, man.
Come on, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend, man. We're on all social media platforms, man. We're doing it for the culture. We're doing it for the city. We're doing it for the country. You already know what it is, man. Hip Hop Hoops. Where hip hops meet hoops. We out.
Let's go.